수익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
Do you remember your yearbooks, high school yearbooks? Well, they are a major piece of, I think, our memories and a huge source of fun for some schools that a major, really, it's a full day, right? You take photos, and sometimes schools these days, they take pictures like year-round. But because of the rise in deep fake crimes, some schools are actually choosing not to make yearbooks. And this is throwing a wrench into the current season when schools and photographers are busy taking yearbook photos. We definitely want to prioritize kids' safety above all else, but it is a sad reality that technology and related crimes are ruining the experience for so many children and their families. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Wednesday, April 16th on BEFM, 부산 영어 방송. Good morning, Wavers. I hope you're all doing well. Can you believe it's already hump day? So, we're talking about yearbook photos. Do you remember taking your yearbook photo? Especially here in Korea, it's such a major thing these days, And maybe, do you still have your yearbook or 졸업 앨범 at home? Whether it's for elementary, middle, or high school. Such fond memories. All in those yearbooks, I think. So whether you still have the physical, yearbooks or not, these are kind of like a major milestone, major part of our school days and memories. And this is actually peak yearbook season with schools taking photos right around now. However, this year, many schools are choosing not to take yearbook photos or make yearbooks at all. According to an official from the Seoul Office of Education, there has been an increase in the number of schools choosing to forego, which means to skip yearbooks altogether. Schools take surveys among students and parents on yearbook production. And many schools this year, they have a little checkbox that says the school will not be liable for deep fake crimes that stem from such photos. That's a sign of the times. I think it's really sad. This comes as a number of deep fake crimes has been on the rise, tripling to almost 1,400 between 2023 and last year. That's according to the Gender Ministry's statistics. And fears are rising among teachers. 93% of teachers surveyed last year that yearbook photos can be used for deep fake crimes. Parents, they're also torn over this. On the one hand, they're sad that their children won't have physical proof of their school days. But, on the other hand, they think that only students and parents who wish to do so should have their photos in the yearbook. So there are alternatives like digital copies or, just giving students their individual photos. So that's another option. And I think, once again, this is a sign of the times. But it's kind of a sad thing to think about, right? We have so many cherished memories in our yearbooks, but maybe for our kids, no more yearbooks. So that takes us to our text topic today. Do you have any fun memories with Picture Day or with your yearbooks? And do you still have your yearbooks? 자, 여러분의 졸업 앨범이나 사진에 얽힌 추억은요? Oh, what memories? 여러분 집에 졸업 앨범 간직하고 있는지, or maybe it's at like your 본가, like your parents' home, or do you still go through them once in a while? 네, 한 번씩 보고 그러나요? So you can send in your messages, including things you remember from Picture Day. 네, 사진 찍었을 때 재밌는 에피소드도 너무 듣고 싶어요. 너무 궁금합니다. So you can go to our YouTube channel to find it. Type in BEFM or 부산 영어 방송. And you can subscribe. Then log in and chat with our other wavers out there. Also, from your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050. That's going to cost you 101. But you can reach me for free through Kakao Talk as well. Same thing there. Type in BEFM or 부산 영어 방송 to find us, add us as a friend. You can send in your... Oh, by the way, if you have any yearbook photos that you don't mind sharing, you can send those in through Kakao Talk. That's the only way to send in photos. And you can listen to us in so many different ways these days. So on the radio here in Busan, 90.5 or 103.3 FM. Like I said, we're streaming live right now on YouTube. You can watch again at your leisure. And we have two apps, the BEFM app itself and Papang app, where you can listen to the 와글와글 segment. It's Wednesday. So in the lineup today, we have Leon with In the Now. In hour number 2, Skills 101 with Jennifer. And then for a special interview. This is such a timely interview. You may have heard about Blue Origin's latest mission. You know, an all-female crew sending up these ladies, including, Katy Perry, into suborbital space. But the whole issue today is not only with this launch, the whole idea of space tourism and how, it is no longer science fiction. It's a reality. It has become commercialized. So we're going to talk about this in depth with our expert. That's coming up in hour number 2. I'll be back with today's headlines. It's now 7:06. These are today's headlines. South Korea says actively in talk with U.S. over sensitive country list. South Korea is continuing to actively engage in negotiations with the United States to resolve the issue of its placement on the U.S. Department of Energy's sensitive and other designated countries list as the list came into effect yesterday. Finance Minister says defense payments not on tariff talks agenda. Finance Minister Choi Sang-mok said yesterday that the defense sharing cost for U.S. Forces Korea is not currently among the agenda issues being reviewed for tariff talks with the United States. Country commemorates 11th anniversary of Sewol Ferry Tragedy. Memorial events will take place across the nation today to mark the 11th anniversary of the ferry sinking that killed 304 people. "11 register for PPP presidential race, DP to confirm candidate April 27th. 11 candidates have registered to compete in the conservative People Power Party's primary for the June 3rd presidential election, whereas the opposition party, the Democratic Party, has a smaller field with 3 candidates. Hamas rejects Israeli ceasefire disarmament proposal. Hamas is said to have rejected an Israeli proposal for a 6-week ceasefire in Gaza, which called for the armed group to give up its weapons. And these are today's headlines. It's time for Busan Updates. We have Sue here in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, so we're going to get into our text topic, yearbook photos or picture day. Do you have any fun memories? Do you still have your albums?
I think they're somewhere. I gotta ask my mom because my family moved a couple of times, so I don't know exactly where they are.
I see.
Yeah, I lost track of them.
Oh, so you don't go back and finally, so you have no idea where they are. Somewhere,
but I also have a ton of the printed pictures.
The photos themselves,
so
right?
From my childhood and elementary school times and all those fun memories. So I like to look at them once in a while.
Do you think you've changed much or pretty much?
Oh yes, every year I look different.
Oh, you look different? For me, it was the hair. Like every year, I like, the hair. And back, I think when I was in middle school, it was like the really, really high bang look.
Yeah.
Right. So I got in so much trouble.
Puffy?
Yeah, like really, really poofy with tons of hairspray. So my mom got like so mad at me because my hair got cut off.
I can't
사진에
imagine.
이게 너무 이게 앞머리가 이렇게 왜 파도처럼 perfect 파도. It was like a big wave and it got cut off in the photo and she was so like upset. Like seriously I think I got a 등짝 smashing for that one. That was like the one time she got really, really mad. But okay, we're going to jump into our Busan updates. First up, we have Busan has launched Korea's first job-linked internship program, and this is for international students, right?
Yes. To address labor shortage faced by local small and medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs,
Yes.
by connecting international students with them. And it is led by the Busan Ministry of SMEs and Startups in partnership with Korea Southern Power, 한국 남부 발전, and the Busan Global City Foundation. So 30 international students will be matched with 10 local companies for a 1-month internship this summer from July to August.
Ooh, so we need further details on this.
To support the students' smooth transition into the Korean workplace, the Busan Global City Foundation's Korean Language Institute will provide business Korean language courses and corporate culture training beforehand. And on-site company mentors will receive 500,000 won in compensation.
Yes.
And participating international students will be provided with internship support equivalent to the minimum hourly wage in the form of scholarships.
Okay.
Interested companies can apply by email between today and 29th, following the guidelines posted on the Busan SME office or Busan Global City Foundation website.
Yes, so I hope a lot of companies participate. And of course, good luck to all the students that are applying for internships. Next up, let's talk about this. Busan City launching a pet care program for women affected by violence.
Yes, first of all, violence against women, 여성폭력, in this context refers to domestic violence, sexual violence, stalking, intimate partner violence, and violence committed through information and communication networks.
Yes.
And this initiative was planned in response to recent cases where women experiencing violence chose not to go to shelters due to concerns about their companion animals,
Yes.
leading them to remain in abusive environments.
So what kind of services are we talking about?
So there are 3 services. One is foster care for companion pets. While the owner is in a shelter, the Animal Welfare and Culture Center will take care of their animals for up to 7 months. And a reason for 7 months is that the victims can stay for 6 months and they need an additional 1 month for the transition period to find stable housing after
see.
leaving the facility.
Okay.
And for this program, eligible cases include survivals of sexual violence, domestic violence, stalking, and dating violence. And there is a temporary vet care for companion pets. If a victim is admitted to a 24-hour emergency shelter
Yes.
operated through the 1366 Women's Emergency Hotline, her companion animal can be temporarily housed at a nearby 24-hour vet clinic for up to 7 days.
I see. So oftentimes when we, think about violence against women, we don't really talk about or think about their companion animals, their
Yes.
pets, right? So thank you for telling us about this valuable information.
And can I
Yes.
just
Yes,
tell you
of
one more
course. There's one
program?
more, right?
Yes, and there is a co-housing program, and it provides support with 11 units across 3 women's support facilities where victims can stay together with their pets.
Yes.
So in particular, 3 emergency housing units have been prepared specifically for victims of stalking and dating violence. So crimes that have been on the rise recently.
Yes.
And these units provide a safe and immediate shelter for up to 30 days.
Right. Once again, for more information, residents can contact the Busan Women's Violence Prevention Support Center. All right, next up, let's talk about this. Suyeonggu District hosting an 어방과거 exam?
Yes.
Is that, did I say it correctly?
Yes,
Okay.
perfectly.
Okay.
어방 means fishing village.
Yes.
And 과거, it doesn't mean the past. It's a national civil service examination that were taken during 고려 and 조선 dynasty periods.
Hence the question in my voice. I was like, is that the correct? Okay.
So it's a traditional style writing contest modeled after the historic state exams.
Yes.
So this event will be held on May 11th at the outdoor performance yard in Suyong Historical Park.
Okay.
And this event is part of the 23rd 광안리어방 Festival. Participants will wear yugon, which is traditional like a bandana headgear. It was worn by the Confucian scholars.
Yes.
And they will take part in the writing contest in a Joseon era atmosphere.
Yes.
So winners will be announced on the Suyeonggu District Office website on the same day, May 11th. And the winning entries will be published in Suyong Literary Arts magazine, Suyong Munye.
Very interesting. So thank you for telling us about this, the 어방과거. Lastly, let's talk about something very local. The Haeundae Sand Festival. It's going to be celebrating its 20th anniversary. Really? That's coming up very soon, right?
Right. I haven't been to one before.
Oh, you got to go.
Yes.
It's like art, literally art. I mean, like you think how can they make this with sand, right? Yes.
So the Sand Festival will be held from May 16th to 19th, and the theme is about experiencing K-culture through sand. And the festival was launched in 2005 to commemorate the APEC summit, and it has grown into a signature event. And this year, it will highlight the global popularity of K-culture, not just K-pop and dramas, but also Korean food, beauty, fashion, and more through over 20 sand sculptures. And 14 renowned artists from Korea, the US, Canada, China, and Russia will create stunning works inspired by Korean myths, historical art, Hangul, and the film Train to Busan.
Oh.
And K-pop star Rose and characters like Baby Shark.
Oh my goodness. It sounds like a really, really cool lineup. So what sculptures can people expect to see? I mean, how big? I know we put up a photo earlier, but how big are we talking about?
So the main piece will be a massive 12-meter high, 25 by 25 meters sculpture featuring General Lee Sun-shin and a traditional Korean wedding set against landmarks like Gyeongbokgung Palace and Dabotap Pagoda and Cheomsongdae Observatory.
Yes.
And special attractions include a 7-meter sand viewing tower, a 20th anniversary zone showcasing past highlights, and a panorama room showing the festival's history. And interactive experiences will also be offered. And in addition, the nearby Gunamro area will transform into a K-culture street featuring traditional Korean games like 딱지치기, 비석치기 that were seen in Squid Game.
Yes.
And random play dance event.
Ooh, sounds like a lot of fun. It gets fancier every year, it seems like. But thank you for telling us about that once again. That is May 16th through 19th. Thank you for the updates. We'll check in with you tomorrow, Sue. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now it's back to you. It's time for your traffic and weather. It's time for your traffic report right now. There is an accident to report on. It has occurred on Cheongwan Sanopdo로 going towards Cheongwan right before the Gaejwa Tunnel. Please be aware of this area. Also congested on the Dongso overpass from Hwangyang ramp to the old Gaeum toll gate. There is some backup on Gwanmundaero from Pangnam Tunnel to Baegang Tunnel right now as well, and looking slow on Jungwangdaero from Seil Hospital to Choryang intersection. As for the weather, it is 10 degrees Celsius here in Busan. Clear skies. It's expected to go up to 20. Across the nation, warmer than usual weather coming back with daytime highs going up to 18 to 26 degrees Celsius. Of course, depending on where you are. As you can see, definitely big temperature gap between the low and the high, so dress accordingly. This was your traffic and weather.
Are you an early bird? Are you up to date on the news? Are you a trendsetter? For all of the biggest issues from Busan to the world and useful information you need, right here on Morning Wave in Busan.
It's time for News Digest. We have Haley here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yes,
Good,
yes. Talking about yearbooks, photos.
Speaking of picture day,
Yes.
yeah, I'm getting my BFM portrait. Do we call them portraits now? Photo.
I don't know.
Photo
Photo.
shoot. Yeah,
Photo
yeah.
shoot,
So
yeah.
that's the extra curly hair. Gotta tamp that
It looks
down.
very nice, though.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Let's see. I mean, I wouldn't have the fun costume yearbook
Yeah.
photos in the States.
Yes.
I did have, however, my hair too had a life of its own. Curly hair.
curly.
Because I have super like 곱슬 머리. It's not
Yes.
반곱슬. It's like full out 곱슬.
Uh-huh.
But then we didn't have the Korean hair salons that could do the straightening perms. So it
the
just
magic.
lots of fuzz. And I think I did show my
Yes.
multiple yearbook photos in one unfortunate year where I decided pigtails, 양갈래 머리 was a good idea. That was fun. That was definitely fun.
yeah.
Oh, but can I brag?
Yes.
I was voted most likely to succeed in my
Oh,
senior
really?
year. Yeah. So that yearbook's
Oh.
somewhere. At
Somewhere.
home. Yeah.
It's somewhere.
I kind of tried to look for it, and then I got discouraged real quick. I was like, well, there's a reason I wasn't voted most clean, so there's that.
All right, we're going to jump into our first story. It's all about politics. Candidate registration is ongoing for the two major parties. So what does the ticket look like right now?
Right. So the Democratic Party and the People Power Party, the DP and PPP, wrapped up their candidate registration yesterday. So let's looking at the Democratic Party. According to their election committee, it is a 3-person race
Yes.
with the former chair Lee Jae-myung, who made his first official campaign stop at a semiconductor plant. So that was very symbolic as he pledged to make South Korea a top 3 nation in the world in
Yes.
terms of AI.
Uh-huh.
And then second is former Gyeongnam Governor Kim Kyung-soo, who visited the graves of former late presidents Kim Dae-jung and Roh Moo-hyun, and then met with former President Moon Jae-in. And
Okay.
he's running on a pledge to make Sejong the administrative capital. And finally, Gyeonggi Governor Kim Dong-yeon, who met with young people as his first stop and talked about issues such as lowering college tuition and pension reform. By the way, the Democratic Party's primary will be on April 27th.
Yes. So what about the ruling party? What's going on here?
This is a much more crowded
Yes.
ballot, so I'm going to go through all 11 candidates quickly in Canada order. Former
Yes.
National Assembly candidate Kang Sung-hyun, former Labor Minister Kim Moon-soo, former Seoyoung University professor Kim Min-suk, former lawmakers Na Kyung-won, An Cheol-soo, current lawmakers Na Kyung-won and An Cheol-soo, former lawmaker Yang Yang-ja, Incheon Mayor Yu Jung-bok, Gyeongbuk Governor Lee Chun-woo, the PR head of 민족 통일 촉진 본부, the civic group 정일관, former chair of the party Han Dong-un, and lastly former Daegu Mayor Hong Jun-pyo.
Ooh.
So again, 11 individuals
Yes.
so far. The party will go through the preliminary rounds today, and they'll kind of weed out the candidates who do not meet the party's standards. And April 22nd will be the first round where 100% of the votes will be based on the general public's votes.
yes.
And if they don't have a front runner, then they'll have a round 2 on the 29th. At that point, 50-50 public and party member votes.
Yes. So very crowded field, but perhaps a matter of equal interest is who is not running.
Right. So acting president Han Duck-soo, his name has been thrown into opinion polls. Han has said that it is his duty to complete the mission, referring to the tariffs. But he didn't explicitly say he wasn't running.
Yes.
However, yesterday, the PPP kind of nipped this in the bud, with floor leader Kwon Sung-dong telling reporters that Han will not run in the party's primaries and actually urged that there be no further discussions on this as it kind of veers away from their issues.
Okay.
Seoul Mayor Oh Se-un also announced officially he will not be running, so a lot of PPP candidates are actually courting his endorsement. As for others, former lawmaker Yu Sung-min and Kim Du-kwan won't be running in their respective parties' primaries. However, they haven't ruled out running, period. So they
I
may
see.
run as third party
Okay.
or independent candidates, as with Lee Jun-seok for his Reform Party. So there in South Korea, in the presidential elections, there isn't precedence of a third party candidate winning the presidency. However, they have been kind of the very crucial casting ballots or their mergers and various endorsements have given the make it or break it move. So we'll see.
Indeed. So, of course, we're going to cover all there is regarding the election. For now, we're going to move on to another hot topic. topic, education. So, the ratio of regular versus early admissions, we're talking about 정시, 수시, is always a very contentious topic here in South Korea. So what's the latest on this front?
Right. The discussion is always which type of admissions. 정시, based solely on your CSAT scores.
Right.
수시, which includes your high school transcripts and activities, which is the more fair option. And now major in Seoul, so major Seoul area universities are looking to pull back on their regular admissions ratio for the 2028 CSATs, which would be the current first-year high school students will be taking.
Yes.
So this is a Hangyeol report which said Seoul National, Yonsei, and Korea universities are looking to apply to the Education Ministry's reform measures, and there's a lot of issues to this, but long story short, that'll allow them to pull back on the regular admissions ratio from the current 40% to 30%. So this 40% regular admissions 정시 ratio was a part of the education reforms under former President Moon Jae-in administration. And if it does happen, it will be the first time that the Education Ministry has made changes to that ratio.
Oh, and so the big question is why? Why are schools looking to kind of readjust this ratio?
It seems to be a little less about admissions, getting students into their schools, but
Yes.
actually keeping them there.
Oh.
Right. So one admissions counselor, and he or she may be representing the general industries field.
Okay.
The students who got into the schools via CSAT 수능 scores only, they tend to think if they had gotten one more question right,
Yes.
they could have gotten into a better school. Because it's kind of it's like
Yes,
a one
I get
and
it.
done kind of a thing. So there is a higher tendency for them to drop out or take that 반수 route where they
Yes.
will pull away from classes for a year and study. Maybe this could be evidence of that. At Seoul National University's regular admissions this year, over 57% were retakers, 21% triple, 삼수생 or higher. So they kind of have a tendency to try again. And from the old school's perspective,
Yes.
that is a loss. So again, with the early presidential elections coming up, education will be a major part of the platforms.
Ah, indeed, indeed. And, while we're on the topic of education, professors from Seoul University, they have proposed an alternative to the current CSAT system, right?
Right. So the SNU Faculty Council, 서울대학교 교수회의, released a reform proposal on the country's education and college admissions. The key policy change, let the students take the CSATs multiple times a year.
Yes.
So they propose that the CSATs be offered 3 to 4 times a year, and whether either the details will be determined, but having the best score be the one that they apply with, or
Yes.
taking the average score in the college admissions process.
Right.
So it'll be kind of like the SATs in the U.S.
Exactly.
So the intent is something that we've talked about, as society, having one day per year to test everything, from grade 1 to 12th grade.
So tough.
It's brutal.
Yes.
Because factors can play in that are non-academic. What if you have a cold? What if you're just not a good test taker, etc.? And the thing is, you have to wait another full year, which
Right.
as, a 30, 40, 50, 6-year-old, what's a year? But when you are 17 and 18,
It's everything.
That's everything,
Yes.
especially when your friends are in college. By the way, this is significant because it is the first time that this group of all 2,300 SNU professors have given a policy reform proposal.
I see. So we'll see what becomes of this if this becomes policy. All right. Lastly, the search continues for the missing worker at the Gwangmyeong construction site collapse. We're on day 6 now?
Unfortunately.
At the same time, concerns are rising over sinkholes in general.
Right. So if we have any breaking news, hopefully, we're not
Yes.
losing hope, but I want to pull back and look at the broader picture of sinkholes because
Okay.
we continue to hear news of these issues, including here in Busan. So a major reason for the continued sinkhole occurrence, at least in Seoul, has been pointed out to aged water pipes. So 노후 배관, 노후 파이프. According to Seoul City data released by lawmaker Jin Seon-mi, of the 10,866 kilometers of water pipes that are buried underground in Seoul, 30 of them are 50 years or older, so
Right.
quite aged. The rate is even higher for 종로, 용산, 성북, and 영등포구 districts at 40 to 50%. 55% in general for the city over 30 years old. And this is when they're usually categorized as aged or old pipes.
Right.
The thing is, and it's just not restricted to Seoul, when pipes get old, they experience cracks and holes. If you live in an older apartment, you may be unfortunately familiar with this in your own home. And water leaks out of them. And with that, they wash away soil. So this kind of creates a void in the ground. And when there's too much pressure from the above concrete with cars passing by or
Yes.
rainwater, nothing to support it underneath, the ground collapses, which is why we get sinkholes. So according to the Land Ministry, of the 867 ground sinking occurrences
Yes.
nationwide in the past 5 years, 45% were due to this pipe burst. So local governments are checking through these aged pipes and going through their databases, but it takes an astronomical amount of money. So this is why the work has been quite slow. And of course, it is inconvenient because to repair them or replace them, you have to shut off the water and close roads. But if we remember anything today, as you said, this is the 11th anniversary of Sewol Ferry Tragedy.
Yes.
Accidents happen not all of a sudden, but when we look back, it's years of complacency, kind of the thought, well, it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Right.
It probably won't happen to us. We know prevention is key, and we are talking about the literal ground we stand on.
True. Well, thank you so much for going over all the issues. And of course, we'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
And right now, we do have a song request that actually 임성환님, 성환, thank you for sending this in. This is in commemoration of the 11th year, the anniversary of the Sewol Ferry Tragedy. So this is 청개의 바람이 되어 by 임형주 as requested by 성환.
Please do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am the sunlight on the ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. I am a winds. I am a thousand winds that blow. I am the diamond glint on snow. I am a thousand winds that blow. gentle autumn rain. I am 1,000 wings. I am 1,000 wings that blow. I am the diamond glint on snow. I am 1,000 wings that blow. I am 1,000 wings. I am 1,000 wings that blow. I am the diamond glint on snow. I am 1,000 wings that blow. I am the diamond glint on snow. I am 1,000 wings that blow.
Ah, yes. Once again, marking the 11th anniversary of the Sewol Ferry Tragedy. But let's get back to our text topic as well, because we're talking about something. We were talking about something kind of serious as well in the opening, in the bridge also. The fact that yearbooks may be disappearing, at least from, the Korean society because of deep fake and whatnot. So we wanted to ask you if you still have your yearbooks or if you have any fun memories regarding picture day or your yearbooks. I have a very interesting message from Tommy who says, not mine, but my sister's university album. There is my first girlfriend's picture there. And then the question I posed to Tommy was this: really? Do you take a peek once in a while, was my question. So Tommy sending in a follow-up message saying, oh, they graduated the same year. My sister knows her. Interesting. So does that mean you dated your sister's friend or they were just acquaintances? I'm not quite sure. But nonetheless, thank you for sharing that message with us. And let's get to Kat's pick for today. I will read more of your messages coming up soon. Let me ask you a question. How long are you willing to wait to see your favorite musical acts or artists? Well, I don't know. Coachella 2025, it has been drawing up comparisons to the infamous, the Fire Festival, and that is not a good thing. Here's a clip from NBC News.
Tens of thousands making the pilgrimage to Coachella this year. Its star-studded performances lighting up the desert night sky.
We have been stuck in line for nearly 10 hours.
But for some, just getting into the festival was a journey in itself. TikTokers comparing parts of this year's Coachella to the infamous Fire Festival.
Like, what's the deal, Coachella? Like, what?
These music fans treated to a symphony of honking car horns instead of performances as they waited for 12 hours or more just to get into the car camping area at Coachella.
13 hours later, we're still not in line.
Attendees taking to social media as they sat in line stretching for miles, warning others. No bathrooms along the way. Some stuck despite arriving as early as 2 a.m. The confusion continuing once they finally made it inside the campground.
This is really bad. No one knows where to set up.
Growing fears of missing the Friday headliner, Lady Gaga, as the lines stretched with no end in sight. Those inside the grounds at Coachella confronting sweltering temperatures.
It's so hot out here.
The highs on Friday soaring to 102 degrees, just 1 degree shy of the all-time record in the area. Meanwhile, attendees looking to quench their thirst face sky-high prices.
$17 lemonade. That's mostly ice.
It was just the cherry on top of an expensive weekend for some who paid more than $600 for general admission tickets tickets alone. A simple meal of tacos adding up to $100, according to this TikToker. Still, the high prices didn't stop others from enjoying the music. But those with plans to attend the second weekend of Coachella this Friday, asking if a debacle might await them too.
And guys, this comes as many people say they're priced out of festivals and concerts entirely due to soaring ticket prices and not to mention those high prices for food and drinks once inside. NBC News has reached out to Coachella for comment. We have not yet heard back.
So remember that question I asked once again, how bad do you want it? How long are you willing to wait? That's 10 to 12 hours just getting into the parking lot. And then once you're there, mayhem. I get it though. If you're young or even not young and you want to experience Coachella, I do definitely get it. But are you willing to wait that long just to get into the parking lot is the question. And we even have our listeners chiming in. Some people saying waiting 8 hours for a concert of someone's favorite singer. So some people do it, definitely. This was Kat's Pick for today.
Stay tuned. You're listening to Morning Wave in Busan.
It is time for In the Now. We have Leon in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, but it's been because the weather is so good these days. It's been harder and harder to wake up in the morning.
Oh, really?
I feel like 뭔가 따스한 햇살을 받으며 계속 자고 싶네요. And during the afternoon as well.
Oh, and that, yeah.
The sunlight just
definitely
keeps on putting me to sleep.
It makes me drowsy.
Yes, yes.
Hey, so text topic time.
Yes.
We're talking about yearbooks.
Okay.
Photos that you have taken throughout the years.
Yes.
Do you still have your yearbooks? Do you go through them once in a while?
I don't like to, but I do have them. But I was a very, very forgetful and 덜렁대는 style back in the high school and middle school days. So I just looked the worst. I never came prepared and always on the day of 맞다 오늘이야? And then for some reason I didn't take a shower that day, although I do every day.
But on
in
that
the morning,
day, on picture day.
sometimes when you take a shower in the morning,
yes.
sometimes you take it the night before.
Yeah.
That was one of the days when I took it the night before.
Oh, but then the hair.
I know.
You know, for girls,
and then
right?
it's like my, in the teens, puberty hits.
Right,
and
right.
It's just super greasy.
Oily. Oh, no.
No, this is water, yeah. But it was just the worst. So I just want to burn it off. Burn it away.
Burn. No, but you got to keep them for
But that's my
memories.
bad memory. But everyone looks so pretty and perfect.
Minus Leon.
Mommy did their hair, and I'm just like 무슨 2대8로 딱 해가지고. It was bad.
Right, and back in the day, there wasn't a lot of alteration of basically no Photoshop.
And I went to high school in the U.S. So
so skills are not good.
Not good.
Not good.
They make it even worse than you appear.
Right. Sometimes you're like, what?
So actually,
what did
my
they do?
parents, when they saw my picture, they were like, what ethnicity are you? They
Like, who are
changed
you?
my ethnicity almost.
Oh, really?
Yes, because the skin tone was not as white as you want it to be here in Korea, right?
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes.
We're going to jump into our final day of with you, of course.
In the Now.
For In the Now.
Yes.
For this season.
So
what do you have for us?
So today I want to talk about a convenience stores, 편의점. Catherine, where have you been? I'm sure you've been to convenience stores recently, but have you noticed how they've been changing quite recently? Did you notice any differences in terms of what they sell or how they're designing their space? Or
I'll be honest.
Okay.
I don't go to convenience stores on purpose because I feel like sometimes the item that I really need, it's like a little bit pricier than 마트 가는 것보다 조금 더 비싸고.
그렇죠, 항상.
하지만 I went recently once because I really needed something, an emergency item.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, whoa, what happened? it looks like some convenience stores. I don't want to say boutique, like boutique-y. Like it looks quite different than like a before like a convenience store where it's just like really kind of mundane.
Yeah, you go for a bottle of ramen, not bottle of ramen, cup ramen or just water. But nowadays,
even like the food there, like with their like 도시락's like fancy.
Yes.
Right.
So that is exactly what I want to talk about today. Before I looked into this, the way I used convenience stores changed. One major one was because they started selling wine, and they provide a lot of application service where you can pick your favorite ones and search. Do you know about the service? Search which convenience store nearby has it in store, and you can put it on reservation, and you can just pick it up.
Fancy.
So you don't have to go to like a special store for it. But that's just how my experience has been.
Yes.
But apparently the trend is it's not just about selling quick snacks. They're turning into kind of like a cultural space.
Yes.
And also like a mini lifestyle hub almost, where they provide products in the beauty, in health, fashion even.
Yes.
They say clothes. And this was the most surprising, ticket sales. They sell tickets to certain events as well.
Wow.
So one industry executive called it, this kind of trend, the rise of everyday platforms. Because, we always talk about platform industry. And it makes sense for these convenience store companies because why would they just want to compete on just ramen and what kind of bottled water they have when they can compete on this is the experience we bring to the market. This is the special space that we've provided for all of you. So why and now are these companies doing this through convenience stores? Why? 편의점, right? It's because the market's super saturated. As of last year, Korea had over 55,000 convenience stores. This is basically on par with Japan, which was quite shocking.
They
because
have a bigger population.
They have a much larger population. And if you think of convenience stores, you think of Japan's those konbini stores as well, right? Because their convenience stores are a big part of their culture as well.
Yes.
But I was quite surprised Korea has more convenience stores per person.
Yes.
So instead of opening new stores, these chains are trying to make existing ones stand out. So make use of it and turning them into kind of destinations for customers. So one store, for example, has this so-called ramen library. This one is situated in Hongdae, and they have over 230 types of noodles from not just from Korea, from all around the world. And it looks quite nice. And there's like if you go into a library, you have stacks of books, but all these different front pages of the ramen is all displayed there. And so the reason why they make it like so pretty is because it's everyone wants to post photos these days on SNS.
That's true.
So it's like not just about like selling the ramen per se. Like I don't think people are actually going to go there to eat the 230 types of noodles, but
it draws people in.
인증샷 찍고라는. 그렇죠.
That's like free promo.
Exactly. Right. So it's like, where is this Hongdae place? We have to go. And there's this another convenience store is now being more known for its K-pop fan zone. So they have like this whole section where they have like walls where music videos are playing.
Wow.
And they have like built-in photo lighting for, all those K-pop lovers to take photos, on the backdrop of their K-pop artists. So...
Is that the? Oh my gosh! You were not kidding about the library.
That is the library.
Like you're taking.
Yes.
I'm gonna take this lemon
it's
off
like
the shelf.
It's like a book. Like, hey, check out what this book I got. But ramen.
너무 맛있겠다.
This is 좀 약간 배고파지네요.
I
like that.
꾸르륵. In my tummy.
Yes. So that's what they're doing, and it's about giving people something to share, right?
I like
amongst
that,
themselves, like creating that buzz.
Yes.
막 솔직히 편의점 가서 누가 인증샷을 찍나요 요즘, 그렇죠?
Right.
But when these ones.
That one I would.
Yeah, I literally would. And I would go like take the subway to go to that specific one.
Right.
If it was
just for that.
Yeah, because it's so trendy. And also, this is another interesting thing that they're jumping on is right now we have the healthy pleasure.
Yes.
artsy pleasure trend going on, right? So a lot of the MZ generation also were very interested in the low sugar drinks or the coconut water based drinks or so on.
I like the way you say it, the coconut.
I only drink coconut water. Can I have
Do you really?
I feel like that's how the MZ generation are saying it. But yes, so there's a lot of demand for these kind of health juices and and also vitamins as well. So the specific chain for the convenience stores, they've launched what's so-called a health zone, where they sell collagen.
We say 한국에서는 collagen이라고 하죠.
But I feel like in English,
we say collagen.
Okay.
So it's not in your mind.
Yeah, so I'm like,
I get confused too.
Me
너무
too.
오래 여기 한국 살다 보니까 collagen은
진짜 아닌 것 같네요.
collagen은 I think I don't know. In Korea they say collagen. Collagen. In English is collagen.
Collagen.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So they sell the collagen. I can't get it. Collagen drinks.
I love it.
Yes, collagen drinks. They also sell fatigue care supplements and diet support, pills and all those things, health for those that are very health or
at a convenience
aware.
store.
At a convenience store. I think the closest things that comes to pills in my mind was like, those painkillers that you can get.
Acetaminophen. That's about it though, right?
Yeah, exactly. I need the ibuprofen. But now it's just you're going there. Oh, I need a little bit of,
So you're doing like vitamin runs at a 편의점.
Exactly.
Oh my
which
goodness.
is so new. And there are, all these other different things that's included as well.
So you said like fashion. I cannot wrap my mind around fashion at a convenience store. I laugh because I'm like, I just can't imagine it.
Exactly. But to be honest, in the convenience stores that I've been here in Busan, I haven't really been seeing clothes being sold. Maybe just like I did see one like white T-shirt or like a pair
I've seen
of
socks.
underwear. Or things like that.
양말은 사본 적 있어요.
Yeah, 그거는
emergency.
약간 거의 emergency 때
emergency.
한번 갈아입으라고 이런 느낌이죠.
Right. Emergency.
I'm talking about like real fashion because these some chains have partnered up with this major online retailer, 무신땡, which is we are very famous.
Yes.
And they have basically rolled out put a separate section in the convenience store just to display the clothes from that retail store.
Ooh.
And, it kind of goes in hand with this thing where it's called convenience wear because it's not too pricey. And
I hope not.
Oh, right. But these retail stores are known for 가성비 clothes, right? And they're not too pricey and it's very, very... anyone can wear it.
Kind of comfy, right?
It's black, white, right kind of tone. So
Sure.
I feel like that's why they market it in the convenience stores. Anyone can wear it. Also, you did mention that the gourmet food, right?
Oh, I know. It's getting kind of fancy.
Because last year, the crazy culinary competition show.
Yes.
Am I allowed to say the white and black one?
Culinary class thing.
Yes.
There you go.
That went viral and a lot of these convenience stores partnered up with these chefs.
That's true.
To roll out gourmet desserts and plates as well. And that's been also doing quite well. And did you try the 밤 tiramisu?
I haven't. I didn't. Was it good? Is it good?
I've always wanted to.
I haven't tried
when
it.
I go to the convenience store, I see the packaging and it makes me curious. But next to the 밤 tiramisu, there's like truffle pasta now. Pasta with truffle in convenience stores.
In a convenience store.
Yeah, so it's
fancy.
from clothes to fashion. Oh, and just briefly, I talked about tickets. They're selling tickets to like marathons.
Oh.
And they're only, they've partnered up with a specific convenience store, so you have to go there and buy the tickets. So that's another marketing strategy that they're using. Come here, buy a ticket for an event.
Marketers are smart. Yes. Well, thank you for giving us a really interesting last segment for this season.
Yes.
The good news is Leon's coming back next season, next week. We'll see you here, right?
All right. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week.
Okay, bye-bye.
Everybody, this was Leon once again. And we're going to get to our final song for hour number 1. How about this one? Beautiful Things by Benson Boone. I'll be back at 8.
While there it was rough, but lately I've been doing better than the last 4 cold Decembers I recall. And I see my family every month. I found a girl my parents love. She'll come and stay the night, and I think I might have it all. And I thank God every day for the girl He sent my way. But I know the things He gives me, He can take away. And I hold you every night, and that's a feeling I wanna get used to. But there's no man as terrified as the man who stands to lose you. Oh, I hope I don't lose you. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got. Please don't take. I found my mind, I'm feeling sane. It's been a while, but I'm finding my faith. If everything's good and it's great, why do I sit and wait till it's gone? Oh, I tell you, I know I've got enough. I've got peace and I've got love. But I'm up and I'm thinking I just might lose it all. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. Don't take these beautiful things that I've got.
Your bridge to the world.
Oh God.
on the environment as they take up to 500 years to break down. Here is how we can cut down on disposable products. First, use tumblers and mugs instead of plastic or paper cups. When you go grocery shopping, bring a reusable bag so you won't have to ask for a plastic one. At home, instead of reaching for single-use paper towels or wet wipes, use rags and towels. These small steps for the environment can have a big impact on planet Earth. This campaign was brought to you by BEFM Busan 영어방송.
김밥가게 박 사장님도, 문구점 김 사장님도, 우리 부산의 경제를 움직이는 사람들. 우리 동네 작은 가게로 향하는 발걸음이 우리 부산의 경제를 키워가는 한 걸음입니다. 부산 방송광고 발전 협의회.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
Good morning, Dynamic Busan.
Yeah, you're waking up. Time to shake it up. Tell the world good morning and find out what's going on.
Well, hi there, folks. There's everything from comedy to lively chat to music.
Broadcasting from a room about the size of your closet.
All calls are recorded. What show is this?
Live from Korea's dynamic city, this is Morning Wave in Busan. I'm sorry, who'd you say you were?
It is now 8 o'clock. This is News Highlights. 11 register for PPP presidential race, DP to confirm candidate April 27th. 11 candidates have registered to compete in the conservative People Power Parties or PPP primary for the June 3rd presidential election, whereas the opposition party, Democratic Party or DP, has a smaller field with 3 candidates. The PPP's election committee will review the applications and announce the candidates advancing onto the first round of the primary today, with the nomination to be finalized by May 3rd. The DP, on the other hand, will hold the nomination process for 2 weeks and finalize its candidate by April 27th. South Korea says actively in talks with U.S. over sensitive country list. South Korea is continuing to actively engage in negotiations with the United States to resolve the issue of its placement on the U.S. Department of Energy or DOE's sensitive and other designated countries list, known as SCL, as the list came into effect yesterday. The DOE confirmed last month that the former Biden administration added South Korea to the SCL in early January, which has become a hot-button issue in South Korea-U.S. bilateral relations. The designation has stoked concern it could affect science and technology cooperation. Seoul's foreign ministry cited the DOE reaffirming that the designation will not affect bilateral cooperation in ongoing or future research and development. Finance Minister says defense payments not on tariff talks agenda. Finance Minister Choi Sang-mok said yesterday that the defense sharing costs for U.S. Forces Korea, USFK, is not currently among the agenda issues being reviewed for tariff talks with the United States. The finance minister, meanwhile, said a liquefied natural gas or LNG project in Alaska could serve as a potential bargaining chip in the bilateral trade talks. U.S. President Donald Trump recently highlighted the interest of South Korea and other countries in partnering with the U.S. to build a pipeline. Choi, however, said discussions with U.S. officials on how negotiations should proceed in the areas of LNG, shipbuilding, and trade balance should come first at the current stage. country commemorates 11th anniversary of Sewol Ferry Tragedy. Memorial events will take place across the nation today, including in Ansan, Gyeonggi Province, the Memorial Center at Paekmokhang Harbor, and in front of Seoul City Hall to mark the 11th anniversary of the ferry sinking that killed 304 people. Earlier in the week, the Maritime Safety Tribunal said that the disaster was caused by internal structural failures, including a malfunctioning steering system and poor stability. The tribunal assessed that the crew failed to take adequate measures during the disaster, and this led to approximately 2/3 of the passengers losing their lives while all crew members were rescued. Hamas rejects Israeli ceasefire disarmament proposal. Hamas is said to have rejected an Israeli proposal for a 6-week ceasefire in Gaza, which called for the armed group to give up its weapons. A senior Palestinian official said the plan gave no commitment to end the war or for an Israel troop pullout, key Hamas demands, in exchange for releasing half of the living hostages which it holds. Meanwhile, Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza, including an airstrike on a field hospital in Khan Yunis. This was News Highlights. It's time for Wagga Wagga. Haley's back in the studio with us.
Good morning again.
That's right. The first topic. Always a kind of a contentious one these days. Marriage. Well, the country's marriage rate has been down for quite some time. And the big question is always, why?
There are so many reasons,
Yes.
but what are the most important? Well, this is the second annual survey by the Korea Population Health and Welfare Associations. Over 2,000 adults aged between 20 and 44, half married and half unmarried. So, big question to the unmarried people. Why aren't you married?
Yeah, why aren't you married?
That's a great question. So complicated, although my answer is here. So 41.5% of unmarried men and 55.4% of unmarried women said they have no intention of getting married or are undecided. So again, the ratio is significantly higher by 14% for women. They don't want to get married or they're not really thinking about it. For the reason, the top reason differed based on gender.
Okay.
For men, a quarter of them, money.
Money.
결혼 생활 비용 부담이 있다. They feel the cost burden of getting married and the marriage. And then 19% of women said they don't have anyone that meets their expectations. 기대에 맞는 상대가 없다. So it's like 누구랑 하나요? Yeah.
And kind of like, well, do I want to settle?
Right.
I mean, you have standards.
You do have standards, and people, they all do. Interestingly, though, second place reason for both genders, and that goes to the I don't want to settle, not because they want like Prince Charming or Princess Charming, but they like their single life. Single 생활이 좋다 was number 2 for both men and women.
좋아요?
좋아요.
네.
좋으세요?
Oh, I'm very content with my married life.
Yeah.
I mean, I jokingly complain about my roommate, but I am very content. Hence, we've been married for, what year is it right now? 25 years.
Ooh.
Coming up soon. 곧. Oh my gosh, 25 years.
Congratulations. Okay. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, yes. It is.
I step right away from that. Third place was also the same. Work. And that is usually the lame breakup, the not so original breakup excuse. Oh, I'm just so into my career right now. But it's true. Oh, it is. It's number 3 for both genders.
Yes.
So, and then for women, though, fourth place, this is interesting. They don't like the patriarchal 가부장제 family culture and relationship. So experts analyze that both genders avoided marriage because of their preference to their single life and their career. But men had heavier economic burdens, whereas women pointed to cultural suppression.
Yes.
So this shows that marriage is becoming less and less of an important kind of a must-do aspect in life, whereas people are prioritizing their individual values and current way of life.
Right. This is always kind of an issue, though. The marriage rate is low, but that also, parlays into the birth rate.
Right.
We want a higher birth rate, but we don't want to force people to get married.
But I do want to point out that it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And, diverse families are increasing. And some experts have said that diversity in the way that family planning pans out may be one solution to the birth rate issue.
Oh, Tommy chiming in. For both, nothing good there, don't do it. No. He is so in love with his wife. He sends us photos of their anniversary dinner.
Right.
He's such a romantic.
Yeah.
But he's sarcastic when his wife is not listening. Earlier this week, next topic, the country's biggest delivery platform began charging commission for takeout. Why? Okay, but I do. Takeout. Let's look at how this is being taken on the scene.
Well, what do you think? Not well.
For takeout?
As consumers, we're like,
no.
Really?
No,
and by the way, this
no.
is the cost for the business. And even just as consumers, I'm just like, well, ultimately, who's going to end up paying for that?
Me.
So we're talking about 배달의 민족, 배민.
Yes.
On Monday, began charging a 6.8% middleman platform usage commission for businesses on their takeout orders. So for example, if you are a restaurant and I'm your customer, so if I order a 20,000 won, 2만 원 worth of takeout food from your restaurant, you're going to be paying 1,500 won for the middleman commission to 배민. Yeah, so this comes just 2 months after they've implemented their mutual growth measures, which had lower delivery commission for smaller businesses. But it seems that the costs are just adding on. So businesses are rightfully so concerned because this can decrease their profit margin.
Yes.
So some businesses refuse to actually do takeout orders via 배민 because of that. And they say it's on top of the 3.3% transaction commission, 결제수수료. So combine that together, they're paying over 10% to 배민 on the usage fees alone. So businesses are also saying they're planning on giving discounts to customers who call their order in. And by the way, last week, because we've always covered this issue, I called, physically called for takeout at this chicken place. The owner was thrilled. And she gave me so much free stuff. And not that I was expecting, but just, I'm like, by the way, the money you saved by me calling, you've just given it all back to me. But she gave me free sides and a free drink. Right. So I'm like, oh, so it's serious.
Well, what about the other side, 배민?
Right, let's get both sides of the story. The companies of the position that the other platforms in the industry are doing the same thing and that they're also putting the commission back into a fund for customer discounts. So they're benefiting the customers. So they say this is actually a good thing for restaurants because if takeout orders become more common, and takeout orders, while they are charging a commission, it is a lower commission than delivery. On top of that, restaurants won't have to pay the delivery workers. They're saying the restaurants can actually save money. But ultimately, here's the thing. Any increases in fees, that is likely to transpire over to higher prices for consumers. That's always a concern.
Yes.
The Progressive Party called on 배민 to withdraw the policy, saying that the company's endless, their worst tyranny is ruining the market. By the way, 배민 accounts for about 60% of the total delivery market, so it is a huge change.
It is. And I remember years back we were covering this when 배민 also bought out another delivery platform and there were worries. So now, well, we see. Well, up next, a professor is under fire for inappropriate behavior.
So this is a professor of dance, College of Dance at Hanyang University Erica campus. This professor allegedly forced his students to serve him and his friend drinks and acted in a coercive manner, forcing the students, or at least socially pressuring the students to drink. So this is an NBC exclusive story which acquired recordings of the set gathering and also a report from the university. So the voice recording goes back to April of 2022. It was a social gathering arranged by Professor Park, only last name revealed, with 9 sophomore dance students, along with the middle-aged man who was there, 장학사, whom he was called the school inspector, and the professor introduced him as a patron or soon-to-be patron of the students.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, so the recording, you can hear the professor coercing the students to drink, saying bottoms up, one shot, hey, we don't have time. Traditional dance students are heavy drinkers. 한국 무용 학생 술 잘 마시네. So things that, I don't know, don't seem great. The students, claimed that the professor told them to, hey, let's lift the mood. Why don't you guys dance for us?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And they felt that they couldn't speak up during this time. And also, here's the thing. In the field of dance, according to this report, the professor apparently has absolute power not only over the students' GPA, but also their career after college. So after this continued time and time again, though, the students felt inclined to speak up, and they reported this case and the professor to the Students' Human Rights Center.
Oh, dear.
And an investigation revealed further problems once the school launched a probe. Apparently, he allegedly told the students that they've gained weight, giving them unsolicited dating advice, urging them to take lessons from a teacher he knows, paid lessons, and even taking money that the students received as a part of their performance.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, so the professor claims both sides. He's never coerced students to come to these social gatherings, that it was all voluntary. At least he says. And the students also drank out of their free will. Well, the school doesn't think so. So the school has dismissed him, saying that there's ample evidence of 갑질. By the way, though, in that process, the professor filed a case against the dean of students for workplace bullying, and then filed suits against his TAs who testified against him. But those cases have been turned down.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Yeah, no.
Right. And people ask me like, oh, do you go, drinking? I have never, and I never will. I know in some Korean culture, it might be commonplace, but I just like, why would I want to socialize with my students? No, firm no on that. Yes. Okay, for our final story, we're going to a French airport where employees have filed a wrongful termination suit. So
another wrongful termination case, but
is it different?
In this case, it's different. Okay. I want to know where you side, waivers. Okay. So 4 workers at Marseille Province Airport, including a man who's worked there for 30 years, have been let go for giving sandwiches to homeless people. Yeah, so this is kind of an issue. I mean, speaking of convenience stores with Leon, like when my sister used to work at a convenience store, what was it? Her favorite word was Peggy. Once the food goes a second after the expiration date, which is not the consumption date, the owner said, you guys can take whatever. Right. And she would come home bearing gifts. And I'm like, yes. But some companies do not allow that, or at least not to outsiders. So according to local articles, in March, Starbucks and the Pret Manger Group fired him and 3 others for, quote, serious misconduct.
Okay.
Because according to this worker who was let go, he would fill carts with unsold food from these stores, and he's done that for 30 years, went to meet the homeless population at the airport and offered them food. The sandwiches were apparently set aside to be thrown away because they were close to the expiration. And apparently there are about 80 homeless people throughout the airport. And he also said he gave the food to some of the cleaning ladies and security guards.
Okay.
And he claims that he never hid this, that everything happened with the utmost transparency under video surveillance cameras, and that his manager was even aware of this.
Apparently, though, the management had a whole different story.
Right, so we're not talking about the manager, him or herself, but the corporate office. Yes. Their policy is that no employee has the right to leave with merchandise intended for disposal, that they're supposed to be thrown away, thrown out into designated garbage containers, unless otherwise agreed in the franchise agreement. So there's paperwork that's supposed to be involved.
Okay.
Well, the employee says he's deeply shaken by this firing to the point that he says he couldn't sleep because he's worked there for 30 years. And this is why he's filed a case to the Labor Ministry and also alerted the media about this.
I see.
However, he says he is proud of the reason for his dismissal because he provided food to those in need.
So, what do you think about this whole story? Because
I mean,
I get the rules.
Right. And I know some even bakeries and restaurants here, they don't give food away because they're afraid of lawsuits. Like, what if someone claims they got sick, got food poisoning?
Yes.
But also, like, do we really want to live in a world where a man gets fired for giving people sandwiches? I don't know. I know there are legal issues, but
and then my whole issue is this, though. Like, we don't know. Like, was he warned? Were there warnings?
Right.
Were there steps taken before he got fired?
So I want to know more.
Yes. Well, thank you for all the woggly stories. And of course, we'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great day.
All right. Now it's back to you, the listeners, for your updated traffic and weather. It's now time for your updated traffic report. Right now, it looks congested on top of the 광안대교 bridge, that top portion going from the Haeundae area toward the Taeyeon area. Also congested on 만덕대로 from Minam to Mandok intersection. Looking slow on 충장대로 from pier number 4 to pier number 3. And there is backup on Pyeonglo from the Taeyeon ramp to the Gwangan tunnel right now. Currently, it's 10 degrees. It's going to go up to 20 today. Clear skies. Across the nation, it is warmer than usual because it's been awfully chilly. The daytime high will go up to 18 to 26 degrees, depending on where you are, of course. So, yes, there's still a big gap between the low and the high. This was your traffic and weather. Fitting for a day like this is 봄날 by BTS.
말하니까 더 보고 싶다. 너의 사진을 보고 있어도 보고 싶다. 너무 약속한 시간 나는 우리 끝냈다. 이제 얼굴 한번 보는 것조차 힘들어진 우리가. 저긴 온통 겨울뿐이야. 8월에도 겨울이 와. 마음은 시간에 달려가네. 홀로 남은 설국 열차. 네 손잡고 지금 반대편까지 가. 겨울을 끝내봐. 그리움들이 얼마나 눈치를 내려야 그 봄날이 올까.
거울을 떠드는 작은 먼지처럼 작은 먼지처럼 날 믿는 눈이 날아오면 조금 더 빨리 내겐 닿을 수 있을 텐데 눈꽃이 떨어져요 또 조금씩 멀어져요 보고 싶다 보고 싶다 보고 싶다 보고 싶다 얼마나 기다려야 분명함을 더 세워야 널 보게 될까 날 보게 될까 만나게 될까 만나게 될까 겨울 끝을 지나 다시 봄날이 올 때까지 꼭 비올 때까지 그곳에 좀 더
네가 변한 건지 아니면 내가 변한 건지 이 순간 흐르는 시간조차 미워 우리가 변한 거지 뭐 모두가 그런 거지 뭐 그래 네가 넌 떠났지만 단 하루도 널 잊은 적이 없었지 나 솔직히 보고 싶은데 이만 너를 지우게 그게 널 원망하기보단 덜 아프니
널 풀어내본다 연기처럼 하얀 연기처럼 말로는 지운다 해도 사실 난 아직 날 보내지 못하는데 눈꽃이 떨어져요 또 조금씩 멀어져요 보고 싶다 보고 싶다 보고 싶다 보고 싶다 얼마나 기다려야
Welcome back, everybody. Today, our text topic is about yearbook photos, picture day, and any thoughts that you have on the whole issue of, some of the schools are getting rid of yearbooks because of the whole deep fake issue. So 태진님 says this. 아들 졸업사진 찍었는데 옛날처럼 선생님과 같이 안 찍네요. 예전에는 선생님이 딱 그 중간에 찍어서 그렇게 찍지 않았나요? 근데 요즘에는 I guess for some schools and teachers, they don't do that anymore. 머릿속에만 기억을 간직해야 하네요. So he's talking about his son's graduation, his yearbook photos and whatnot, where back in the day, the teacher was usually front and, center, and the kids are surrounding the teacher. But I guess some schools are just foregoing that all together. And similar sentiments saying that people are kind of saddened by the changes because of modern technology and the ill uses, the people that are just so bad and evil that they create these photos, deep fake images, so that our kids can't have yearbooks anymore. How sad is that? I think that is definitely saying something about our society. We need to be better as a whole. Anyhow, enough about me venting about the evil people behind deepfake and ruining our kids' memories. Let's get to our special interview because this is such a hot issue. Space tourism. I'll be back in just a moment. What we're covering today is like literally so hot right now, this issue, because I don't know if you saw the news coverage or maybe on social media about Blue Origin's latest mission, sending an all-female crew, including pop icon Katy Perry, among other notables, into suborbital space, really reigniting questions and conversations about the future of commercial space travel. So it is definitely becoming more commonplace than just a few years back. We have these more kind of space flights, questions about, the glamorous side of space travel. Deeper questions, though, are emerging about things like this: safety, access, and also the environmental costs. So let's delve into this. We have invited Dr. John Chryssidis, who is the SUNY Distinguished Professor and Executive Director of the Collaborative Institute for Multi-Source Information, a fusion at the University at Buffalo. Hi, welcome to our program.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Yes. So like I just said about the whole, the recent flight, Blue Origin's all-female crew. So we're talking about notables like Katy Perry, Gayle King, and of course, is it Lauren Sanchez, the fiance of Jeff Bezos as well, going up on that trip. So first, your thoughts on this, and then maybe I can ask you some questions about it, Professor.
I think it's great. I think the more people that go up in space average, well, they're not obviously average, but they're celebrities. But as that happens, it'll open up space tourism for more people like me. So I think it's great.
And so in your opinion, how have these technological advancements as of late made commercial flight to us, it seems like such a short time, but I'm sure it's been years in the making. But what are your thoughts?
Well, the first human that go in space was 64 years ago, in 1961. Yes. So that's not that long ago. And we've advanced quite a bit. There's been a lot of advancements, obviously, in rocket technology and safety as well, too. And when you think about cars that were built in 61 compared to cars now, I think a similar thing is going on with rocket launches as well, too. The safety is just getting better and more reliable.
Yes. And, when we think about human spaceflight, though, Professor, especially with non-professional astronauts on board, what safety systems and protocols are now considered standard for these space tourism missions? Because obviously they went into suborbital space, not into deep space. But still, there are concerns about, well, are they physically going to be okay, et cetera? Lots of questions.
Right. The two most dangerous parts are obviously launch and reentry. And when the space shuttle was first designed, NASA pegged about 1 in 100,000 chance of a failure. But then after Challenger, they reduced that down all the way down to 1 in 100. And that's pretty much what they reached, was 98.5%. Obviously, that is not good enough for commercial space launch of non-professional astronauts. Right now, they're pegging it to be about 1 in 270. Still not good enough. Obviously, much, much higher for aircraft. But we're getting there as we do things more and more, just like everything else. Flying in the early days for me was a lot more dangerous than it is now. And in a few years, hopefully we'll get there. It will be just as safe as flying.
Yes, yes. And however, though, there is some concern about the environmental effect, the cost of, these frequent rocket launches. So from your perspective, how significant is the ecological impact of space tourism?
So there's been some recent studies. It's not that many studies have been done on this quite much, but recent studies have shown, obviously they're putting soot into the air, and it showed that it could increase the amount of effects onto the ozone by 650% in the coming decades. Obviously, that's something that we don't want. So right now, that hasn't really been studied enough, for at least I can see. The other issue that really hasn't been studied that I think needs a lot more studies, all the stuff that's coming down and burning through the atmosphere and how that's affecting the atmosphere. We really don't know the answer to that question either. So there's still some unknowns there, but as more launches become prevalent, then we'll get to answer some of those questions. But we'll see. We really don't know. I think what we're doing here on Earth is causing enough that not that big of a deal right now.
Well, I also want to ask you this question because at least right now, it's very exclusive to partake in any type of these space missions, and it has sparked some ethical debates, whether, this is just like, a symbol, another, extreme of the haves and the have-nots, where if you are extremely wealthy or if you're well-connected, and that usually equals you're wealthy, that you're able to go on a trip like this versus what are we trying to achieve, those kind of debates.
Yeah, so it's like everything that comes out that's new, right? When airplane travel first started out, it was very expensive, and we did it. And the more we do it, the cheaper it becomes. Same thing with flat screen TVs. I remember 20-some years ago, they were $20,000. Now you can get a huge one for a few $100s. So as we do more and more of these, they're obviously going to reduce in price, and hopefully down to a price that I can afford and go someday too. So I don't look at it that way. It's just with everything. Every product that's new is expensive. I remember when DVD players came out, they were super expensive, out of the cost of the average person. And now we don't even do DVDs. But it'll go down in price, and that's the point. So I'm fine with that. I think that's fine.
Well, what about as more private companies launch space tourism programs, do you think that there is a need for maybe an international regulatory body, some sort of organization that might oversee to ensure that there is, safety, sustainability, that people are complying with these ethical standards?
Well, we don't really have anything like that with airplanes. We do it obviously with international flights, but company standards are set to the billers, and when countries accept the airplanes built by different countries, they accept the standards that are set. The companies, accept the standards that are set there. So I think that's already going to happen. I don't think we need to have an international body doing this, because it's already kind of being done with aircraft. With how each company accepts it. And like with anything, you expect when you go on an airplane that you're going to be safe and everything was done right. And I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time, you don't want to over-relegate something as well, too. So it'd be interesting what happens in the next few years. I really don't know the answer to that question, but I can see both sides.
I see. Well, looking forward to even maybe the next decade, do you foresee a time where these, maybe space station visits even, or going into, suborbital space, that it may or will become available to the broader public, that, as you say, with, let's say, airplanes, as you gave it as an example, that the price will come down eventually?
I hope so. I think so, because I remember as a young child meeting the pilot every flight that I was on, because it was such a special thing. I got my wings. It was interesting. And we're still at that stage where I think people still get wings when they go up in space, because it's so infrequent. But in the next few decades, I hope so. But you never know. As a kid, I still have my parents' National Geographic magazines about Apollo and the landing on the moons. And by now, we're supposed to have all these stations on the moon, and none of that came to fruition. So, but I think with this one, it's going to stick. We're going to get space tourism happening in the next 20 years.
Yes. Well, we will definitely wait and see what the next 20 years brings for space tourism. But thank you so much for coming on air with us and giving your thoughts and opinions regarding the latest. Thanks, Professor.
Thank you.
This was Professor John Chryssidis, and we talked about the latest in space tourism. And in particular, yes, Blue Origin's latest mission, that all-female crew that went up, came there back on Earth safely. That's definitely good news. But also, once again, question does remain about the efficacy, the ethics behind, and also the money that's involved in going up into these type of space tourism missions. This was your special interview. We're going to take a short song break. Here is Bruno Mars, Marry You.
Trash, got a pocket full of cash we can blow. Shots of patrol, and it's on, girl. Don't say no, 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 no. Just say yeah, 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 yeah. And we'll go, 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 go. If you're ready, like I'm ready, 'cause it's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey, baby. The look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna marry you.
Get your local up-to-date news from Korea and abroad right here on Morning Wave in Busan with Catherine. Stay tuned.
It's time for Skills 101. We have Jennifer here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
It's a beautiful hump day.
It is. It is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have a little window, like I always say, because we can see and we can kind of go with the weather.
And it's slightly warmer than yesterday.
Slightly, yes. And it'll go up to 20 today.
Ooh.
But right now might feel still a little bit chilly, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
there are many people who are catching a cold nowadays.
Oh, I hear a little bit of
nasally, yeah.
For me too, everybody thinks like you were saying, oh, you sound better, but it's like every time I take a deep breath, I feel like I'm gonna cough. So I gotta take like shallow breaths. Very strategic. Yes.
Very feminine.
It was not on purpose. Yes. Our text topic though, it's about yearbooks. I know you have a daughter.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, we were talking about this. Yearbooks are so expensive.
So pricey.
8만 원 얼마던데요? Like almost 10만 원 for a yearbook. The price keeps on going up.
And I asked my daughter, "Are you sure you want this?" And then she was saying, "Oh yeah, all my friends are ordering them."
Right.
So.
It's like if you don't order it, it's kind of like you're an oddity, right? It's kind of weird. So do you have your old yearbooks?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you have them.
Oh, and I look so ugly in there.
근데
so
모든
ugly and
사람들,
촌스러워요.
everybody like says, no one says like, oh, I look so good in my yearbook photo. I love it. 항상 막, 왜
it's
이랬지?
embarrassing.
Like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
So.
And all these funny poses. And
right.
제가 왜 그랬을까요?
근데 국내에서 찍는 거 있잖아요. 졸업 앨범. Like I kind of envy that because I see like my youngest, she's getting ready to take her photos. Like she's so wrapped up in like what character she's going to dress as. Like 애들이 뭐 이렇게 그룹으로 사진을 많이 찍으니까 they're so into like the characters. So like
so it's shopping time.
no, it's not shopping. It's called borrowing, renting.
Oh, renting.
yes.
That's good. That's good.
They're only going to wear it once, right?
No.
We're going to jump into Skills 101, our final one for this season.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm a little sad,
Time
but
flies.
yes. What's our topic for today?
Okay, today we are talking about something that's often seen as the end of the road, but it doesn't have to be. Like Skills 101.
Okay.
We're talking about failure today.
Failure.
Yeah, more specifically how to reframe failure and put you back on the path of success.
Like how would we even say failure in Korean? 망했다?
실패를 어떻게
망했는
성공으로
너무 so big. Like it's like
맞아요.
that's too big. Okay, 실패. I like that.
실패를 성공으로 만드는
Okay.
방법.
Yes. So the whole idea is this. Like when we hear the word failure, I don't even like that F.
No.
Right? It's like F 받는 느낌이에요. Like, getting an F on your test.
Oh, 맞아요.
And it's like tough to kind of digest and like to take in
It
sometimes.
hurts.
Yes, I hate the F. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, right?
And I hate this word, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes.
But we should welcome these failures a little more than we do now.
Okay.
Think about it. When you look at people or companies we now see as widely successful, you'd never guess how many failures they had before that big breakthrough.
Sure. Yes. And, we have so many examples. For example, James Dyson.
Oh, the vacuum guy.
Right, everybody knows that guy, right? So I hear that he made over like 5,000 prototypes before like he got it right. It took 5 years, 5,000 prototypes?
Yeah, to be exact, 5,127 prototypes
okay.
over 5 years before he finally got it.
5,127. That's like.
Can you imagine the frustration?
Most of us would have stopped at like 5.
저 머리 다 쥐어뜯을 것 같아요. 정말.
네, maybe 50번, but 5,000번 넘게.
Yeah, 50 times maximum.
Yes.
Most people would quit after 10 or maybe after 50 maximum, but he kept going. And even after he launched in Japan and did well successfully, UK retailers rejected him.
Oh.
Because the product worked too well. 너무 작동이 잘 되는 거예요.
그 왜?
Yeah, it threatened existing vacuum bag industry.
Okay. So if this product it does so well, that means the other products like B, C, D, E, etc., they won't sell.
No.
So even when he succeeded, it was like another obstacle. He hit another wall.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. But instead of giving up, he built his own company and sold directly to consumers. So now Dyson is a global name.
That is true. Who doesn't know that one, right? I mean, there are so many knockoffs
Yeah.
off that company.
Yeah.
So what's the takeaway from this?
So like, what does it teach us? We have to think about it. Whoa. So instead of why did this happen to me, what is this trying to teach me?
What can we learn?
We have to see failure that holds a lesson.
I don't know, but it's kind of sounds like mining for failure.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
So look at what didn't work and think, is there a new idea buried in here? Sometimes failed ideas spark even better ones.
I don't know, but as like one of our listeners was saying, like, 아니 알면서도요 잘 안 된다고요. like you know, we hear these stories once, every so often. We think like, 맞아, it's okay to fail.
Yeah,
I hate that word, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay, but it's like our natural being within us.
You feel this disappointment.
Yeah, we don't like that failure.
No. And sometimes we fail even after trying really, really hard.
Yes.
And that hurts even more.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But it doesn't mean the whole journey was a waste. It just means it's time for a new chapter.
We got to reframe it, okay? So it's just the end of chapter 1.
Yeah.
We need to move on to chapter 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how we got to, So I guess like you said, Mr. Dyson, he succeeded in one market, Japan, and failed in the UK, but he kept on going, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the shift in mindset makes all the difference.
Yes.
Think of failure as a pause, not a full stop. You're just pausing.
Okay. We're pausing. We're not done yet.
No.
What else should we be thinking?
A lot of people expect their first attempt to be flawless.
And I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, that's too much to expect, right?
Right.
But innovation rarely works that way.
Oh, that is true. When you think about all the greats, who got it right on their first try? I mean, who really? I mean, it's just like failure after failure, right?
Yeah, if you get it right the first time, that means you're extremely lucky.
That's true. It's not just like you're genius, but you're also very lucky, right?
Yeah. If you never allow yourself to fail, you also never allow yourself to grow. We learn in doing, not just in the planning.
That's true. And so let's say, for example, I always have students that are like so nervous, like when they have to do a presentation, especially let's say in English, and they bombed, or maybe you made a huge boo-boo at work, like something so embarrassing, like, so we should be kind of reframing it, So I get that.
Yeah.
So how can we do this, like in reality?
Well, first of all, give yourself permission to feel disappointed. It's so natural. That's human. But then shift to curiosity.
Okay.
What actually went wrong? So what is the issue here? What is the problem area? What is the improvement area?
Because you need to fix it, right?
Yeah. And what would I do differently the next time? If I get another chance.
Okay.
And this one's powerful. What worked that I can keep? I can keep that.
Meaning, excuse me. This is kind of similar to some teachers who also say it's not just going over the 오답, like the wrong answers. You also need to go back to what you got right.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like that, right?
Yeah, you have to see good things in it. You know, there must be at least one good thing.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
There is. So yes, we only tend to look at the failures and our mistakes, but we got to look at what we did right too. So we can kind of amp that up, right?
Yeah, it's so easy to like just pinpoint what went wrong, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
And the bonus tip, share what you learned with someone else. It turns a solo failure into shared insight. It's less lonely and more
that's
useful.
true.
Yeah. 이런 적 있지 않나요? 나 이렇게 실수해서 망했어. 나도 이런 적 있었는데.
And then that leads
Like
to
you
conversation.
share the experience. So you can sort of teach each other.
We can commiserate with all our failures. Yes. So have you ever failed at something and you felt like you couldn't get back on the bike?
So many times. So many times. And then like 맞아요. 이거 쉽지 않습니다. I know like I should think positively and there's another chance. It's not the end of the world.
Right.
But it's so easy to just be disappointed and isolate yourself from the whole world.
Sure, it is indeed.
And then you feel like, they don't want me. I'm invisible, you know. Yeah.
And then Tommy, who's always very realistic, he says that, in the real world, it's really hard to get a second chance.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and so if you feel that you're right, whatever it takes, like go with it. He's saying like you kind of like push through.
Yeah.
Because you might not always get that second chance, especially if it's like a work project or something really major.
Yeah,
right?
you should always do your best and put a lot of effort in.
Yes.
Yeah. 뭐 노력도 안 하면서 뭐 실망했는데 다음에 또
That's
있겠지.
true, though.
It's
not just for adults. It's
That's
for
not a good attitude.
Students too, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Tough.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, not just for today, for the entire season.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Yes, but of course you'll be back.
I'll be
right?
back next week, same time with a brand new segment.
Ooh.
Full of practical insights and new perspectives.
Okay. So we look
keep
forward
it as
to
a secret.
It's a secret.
네, 비밀입니다.
우리 조 PD님은 그런 거 안 좋아한다. It's a secret.
우리 또 새로운 PD님 오시니까.
맞아요. Yes, time to say goodbye.
Yeah, time to say
thank
goodbye.
you. We will definitely check in with you next week. Bye, Jennifer.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. So today we went over so many issues, especially when it comes to yearbooks, with photos, the whole issue of deepfake, and also this conundrum. Students, they want, not all, but most of them, they want to take photos. They want to have their yearbooks. Some schools are stepping away from that because there have been some cases where, the photos have been used in such evil ways. And so how can we, on one hand, protect ourselves, including our children, versus having also the freedom to take a photo and not be worried about how it's going to be used by somebody else. So I know it says a lot about just certain members of our society, but they're just causing a lot of damage. I think taking away core memories for so many of our young ones. And we also talked about the fact that, yes, that suborbital flight. Some people, the professor was very, open-minded, and he was saying, it will lead later on to everyday people being able to take hopefully flights into space. But there has been criticism by other people as well in terms of like, it kind of seems like a very exclusive club, people who are able to go on these space tourism flights. A lot to unfold, of course. And once again, there is a big gap between the temperature now and later on during the day. So you might want to wear layers, wishing you nothing but health and happiness. And of course, we also marked the 11th anniversary of the Sewol Ferry Tragedy as well. So keep that in mind too. We're going to end it with this song. This is End of the Road by Boys to Men, wishing you a great day. Bye, everybody.
Girl, you know we belong together. I don't have no time for you to be playing with my heart like this. You'll be mine forever, baby. You just know. We belong together. You know that I'm right. Why do you play with my heart? Why do
shouldn't be happy together forever. You and I. Love me again like you loved me before. This time I want you to love me much more. This time instead, just go to my bed and maybe just throw every time. Although we don't to be end of the road, still I can't let go, baby. You belong to me, I belong to you. I don't know what I'm gonna do, 'cause I know I come to the end of the road. Still I can't let go. Throw me out a little bit, baby. You belong to me, I belong to you.
Girl, I'm here for you. All those times at night when you just hurt me and just ran out with that other fella. Baby, I knew about it. I just didn't care. You just don't understand how much I love you, do you? I'm here for you. I'm not out to go out there and cheat all night, just like you did, baby, but that's alright. I love you anyway. And I'm still gonna be here for you till my dying day, baby. Right now, I'm just in so much pain, baby, because you just won't come back to me. Will you? Just come back to me. Yes, baby, my heart is lonely.